Welcome to a new planetary and seismic update. The seismic activity that we had, I put them on the SEISMIC graph so you can see the correlation with the planetary and lunar geometry. And as you can see on the SEISMIC graph from the 25th of March onward, we had this convergence of critical planetary geometry, the right angle geometry, this clustering, and we had some minimal clustering of seismic events as I expected, well into the 6 magnitude range, and indeed we see a 6.5, 6.7 estimated at the Vanuatu region, and a 5.7 off the coast of Oregon as well. And with the more critical right angles on the 27th and 28th, followed by a lunar peak, we had another minimal clustering, 5.6 and 5.8, the Bismarck Sea and southern Greece. It didn't even reach magnitude 6 though. And on the 30th, where I expected the major seismic event potentially, we had a 5.8, and that's a bit low because we had a planetary conjunction on the 29th. That was with the Mercury, Sun and Venus, and that usually results in a borderline low 6 magnitude earthquake, but it didn't reach magnitude 6. It was a 5.8 at the Red Islands, Aleutian Islands, on the 30th, later on the 30th. And then we had two additional stronger tremors, but it didn't actually reach magnitude 6, was almost magnitude 6, to 5.9 to Bellini Islands and Honshu, Japan. And they followed on the planetary peaks that you see there. That also includes the Mercury-Sun-Saturn conjunction on the 1st, that was yesterday. And other than that, we didn't have really a strong or significant seismic activity. So I mentioned the planetary geometry briefly on the 3rd. It's going to be tomorrow. And I also mentioned the potential, or the possible, I should say, the possible synchronicity with the right angles converging on the 26th and 27th of March. And as you can see, we didn't have a major seismic event so far. So that's going to be reserved for a later clustering or convergence of planetary geometry. The next convergence will be tomorrow with two planetary conjunctions. The first will be Earth, Venus and Neptune, and shortly after, several hours later, followed by Mercury, Venus and Saturn. So we have Venus in two planetary conjunctions tomorrow. Now let's have a look how that looks like in the solar system. We have Earth, Venus and Neptune in a conjunction, and we have Mercury, Venus and Saturn. No critical lunar geometry, no lunar conjunctions. It's purely the two planetary conjunctions that we are going to have. And then we have another planetary conjunction coming up on the 5th. That's Mercury, Sun and Neptune. That's actually the second phase, I should say, in the coming week. From the 5th to the 7th, we have two planetary conjunctions, but also significant lunar conjunctions. If we look at the solar system, we see the red lines. This is the planetary geometry, Mercury, Sun and Neptune in a conjunction, and also Sun, Venus and Saturn. And in between we have two lunar conjunctions, each time. There's 4 lunar conjunctions in total, with Mars, Saturn, Neptune and Venus in that sequence. And if we go back to the SEISMIC graph, we see that those lunar peaks are in between the planetary conjunctions, the planetary peaks. So Mercury, Sun, Neptune on the 5th will be followed by two lunar conjunctions. It's the high lunar peak on the 6th, and also the Sun-Venus-Saturn conjunction early on the 7th is followed by two additional lunar conjunctions with Neptune and Venus. I expect an obvious seismic increase there, so overall I expect more seismic unrest in the coming week due to these planetary conjunctions that we have, 4 in total, 2 on the 3rd, then on the 5th and on the 7th, and then particularly with the lunar conjunctions on the 6th and 7th, I expect a seismic response there, and this could go well into the 6 magnitude range, but an obvious seismic increase, higher 5 magnitudes earthquakes, and possibly some 6-pointers there as well. And because of the Earth, Venus, Neptune conjunction, let's go back to the solar system here, Earth, Venus and Neptune, we could also see perhaps borderline magnitude 7 earthquake, and that could be already on the 4th or 5th if there is a quick seismic response. But it is also possible, and maybe even more likely, that is going to happen following the lunar conjunctions on the 6th and 7th. So it's a little bit difficult to make more precise estimates when the largest seismic event is going to occur. But I do expect an obvious seismic response, seismic unrest in the coming days as a result of these planetary and lunar conjunctions. Then we have the Earth, Moon, Sun, that's the new moon, on April 8th. That's the solar eclipse, and that will be visible in North America. And it will be followed by convergence of 3 planetary conjunctions. Now, I will go into that in much more detail in the next update. It would be too much to explain all that in this update. But quickly, really quick here, Earth, Moon, Sun, this eclipse itself is not critical, but the convergence on the 9th and the 10th, that is going to be critical. And we could actually see the largest seismic event in the first half of April, around the 11th, 12th, 13th. Okay, you can look up the website for atmospheric fluctuation that could indicate potential regions. We also share these updates in the social media, and the links to the social media are also on our website. And we haven't had any really significant atmospheric fluctuations so far. Some minor ones that could indicate higher 5 or low 6 magnitude earthquakes. Nothing really critical at the moment, but that can change any moment. So check out the latest updates on the website and in the social media. This is the update for now. Stay safe. Until next time.